For anyone who hasn't been following this channel, this is just a bizarrely self-indulgent video with a woman saying, "Look, everybody, I washed my hair." But since the dirty hair resulting from some complications in life has been a subject of the channel, as I learned to get used to being on camera, I should find ways to not be on camera, but seems like those videos get more views and I want people to hear stuff because I want to say stuff. So anyway, so this is fluffy, clean hair that is not shrouded in darkness. And maybe some filter will make it actually kind of visible because it still is not very visible. And this, without any lint on the bridge of the nose this time, is the painting I made when I was 18. I was never a big painter. I mostly drew, but this was shortly after graduation, and these two paintings are without doubt the best paintings I've ever done. They're probably the only paintings of any note I've ever done. Is that true? Approximately, yeah. No, I think that's just true. Oh, yeah. Well, I did one kind of okay one of a mannequin, headless mannequin, just the breasts in painting class, but no, not really. I mean, it was more just like an exercise, like a student's exercise. Fluffy hair, fluffy hair. It's kind of doing the triangle thing. I like it to do more the wavy princess thing. Turns out I don't have strep throat. I just vape too much and I'm exhausted. And I'm wearing one of my late husband's t-shirts. I love white t-shirts with V-neck. I loved seeing him wear those. Always reminds me of Marlon Brando and Streetcar Named Desire. I think it's a very sexy look. So Ryan George, who does these amazing pitch meeting videos, is most known for the catchphrase, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Although there's other catchphrases in his videos. Yeah, 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 wow, wow, wow. And then something that was being discussed, one of the two will go, like if they're talking about bottle openers, the other guy will go, bottle openers are tight. But it's usually some kind of dirty joke like manholes are tight. And then the guy goes, ew, and then he goes, ew. You have to see it. He does videos where he plays both characters. He's brilliant. It's hilarious. Anyway, I'm thinking I will eventually have a t-shirt. I don't know if it's easy to get V-necks because you never see V-necks in the merch department of YouTubers, but I would want a V-neck or a scoop neck because that's just got to be. And my t-shirt, because my most viewed video is called Naughty Sexy Naked, I think with 2 X's. Naughty Sexy Naked, smash that sub button. And what does sub stand for? Subscribe, yeah. What else? Watch the 50 Shades video. I haven't gotten around to saying how 50 Shades and Twilight are an expression of the collective unconscious as channeled through a perfectly adequate debut novelist in the case of Twilight author. Oh, I know her name. Well, Lindsay Ellis has a video essay for her. Oh God, what is her name? I can't think of it right now. Twilight author, Twilight author, Twilight author. Anyway, or not at all adequate writer in the case of TV writer or producer or whatever turned fan fiction sensation Ice Queen Dragon, who then became the author of 50 Shades of Grey. I like those movies. I do. It's, you set aside things when you go to see a movie like 50 Shades of Grey. And then once you see it a couple times, you start to, I think Dakota Johnson, who is Dawn Johnson and Melanie Griffin's daughter, I think she's very good in that role. And Jamie Dornan is almost as good as Christian Grey. And Dakota Johnson is, I think, very good as Anastasia Steele. The folding ideas channel has 3 great videos. I particularly like the first one because it's more positive about 50 Shades of Grey. The first one's called A Lukewarm Defense of 50 Shades of Grey. And it does one thing really good, which it really analyzes, well, this isn't really a video about hair, is it? That's more like the wavy princess look I like. See, I like it to be a little higher. When I get my mascara, I have like hair mascara, you know, it covers the roots. Anyway, Folding Ideas has a video called A Lukewarm Defense of 50 Shades of Grey. And one thing they do is that they stick up for fan fiction and how it's, you know, it serves a certain purpose, emotional, psychological purpose, and which is not just in a condescending sense, but it's like you love these characters. So it's a really easy entry to read more about. You want to read more about them. And then the author of the fan fiction doesn't have to work on character development because you already know these characters. I mean, if a really good fan fiction. Now that's a good question. If really good fan fiction, assumably would develop the characters more. But what if you develop them in a way that's different from the original author? I actually, before Avant la lettre, which means before the word, or maybe the word was already out there, it probably was, just not as widely used. I wrote stuff that could be called fan fiction, and my very favorite novel of all time, it's a 200-page novella by my favorite author, or the author with whom I resonate most deeply, even kind of reincarnation deeply, Jean Rhys. Her most famous work, her most famous book, Wide Sargasso Sea, is in a sense fan fiction because she borrowed a character from uh, not Emily Bronte, but Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. She borrowed the character of the mad Creole woman in the attic. White Creole, but maybe not entirely white, as I would say both authoresses explored that. Charlotte Bronte explored it as if condemning the idea of a non-white woman. And Jean Rhys embraced it because she was from the West Indies and she had a very strong connection with the African American, African Central American people there. And it's, you know, like Antoinette and Christophine. I wrote a new short story where my character Janae is kind of like Antoinette, or a more grown up, high functioning version of Antoinette. And Christophine with a K, who was based on Lady K, Kadama. Is it okay to say your name? You're my boo. You're my savior. The Christophine character is based on Kadama, and she relates to me as a kind of a helpful maternal figure who intervenes in my love life the same way that Christophine in Wide Sargasso Sea tries to intervene in a helpful way in Antoinette's love life, but it's a situation that's beyond repair because she married a man who is incapable of understanding her. You could just talk about Wide Sargasso Sea forever. All the isms, every discriminated against group is addressed in Wide Sargasso Sea. Children versus adults. The mentally ill or those who are perceived to be mentally ill versus sane people. People of non-English, Anglo descent, like even if you're French, that's not good enough, versus English people. People of color versus white people. Women versus men. It's all there. No wonder she was perceived as a founder of post-colonial literature. But she wasn't interested in joining any political movement. The more I learn about her, actually, the less I see myself as a reincarnation of her, because she wrote these novels that really spoke about, you know, what is it, passionately stated the case of the underdog, as her, one of her lovers and patrons said, what's his name? That guy with the same first name and then last name and then a middle name, and I don't know. Ford Maddox Ford. How you end up with a name like Ford Maddox Ford, I don't know. He's one of the characters in one of her novels, but she says she over-dramatized the affair. It wasn't that big a deal. Sounds like a pretty big love triangle, though. A man, his mistress, and his new temporary other mistress. Ooh. Okay, I have a feeling I'm going to get cut off by a dying battery, so bye. This will eventually hurt your throat. Well, this will eventually hurt your throat, but it's creme brulee and it's the most refined smokable object on earth. But get it in the 2.5 nicotine online. or at your finer vaping stores. This is going to be illegal soon. You shouldn't smoke it. Bye. Bye. Shouldn't do that. Bye. Bye.